list items are indexed. The first element has an index of 0 and the second element have an index of 1. Concatenation means combining the elements of two lists and putting together in a single list. How we can do? We can do by using the plus operator. What is slicing? Getting a sub list within the given list or getting a substring from the given string. Hello everyone, welcome to this session on Python programming. Today we are going to continue our discussion on a second unit, that is Python data type. In this session we are going to discuss one more data type called list in Python programming. Myself, Indu J, Faculty of Computer Science Department, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So let us start with the session. We are going to discuss one more data type called list. We have given the brief introduction in the unit 1, what is list and how list can be created. So let us see what is list. List is used to store the multiple items in a single value. It exactly acts as your array. Why list is used? To store the multiple values in the single variable. Items are in the list is mutable. What you meant by mutable? When we have declared the items within the list, we can change the value of the elements within the list. That is mutable. It's allowed to change the value within the list which is already been declared. That is called as mutable. All the elements of the list are enclosed with the square braces and separated by comma. How we are going to write a list? 1, 2, 3. So enclosed between two square braces and separated using a comma. That is how we are going to represent the list. List items are ordered, changeable and allows the duplicate value. What you mean by ordered? It will have an index value, so it will be ordered. When we print this particular list, it will be displayed as it is. Same order in which we have given the input. That is called as ordered. Okay, what is changeable? As I just told you that the changeable means it is mutable. We can change the values of the list within the list that is already created. That is called as changeable. One more important feature of the list is that it allows the duplicate values. For example, if this is a list 1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, list 2 would be 1, 2, 3, 2 and 1. So 1 has repeated, 2 has repeated, right? So it allows the duplicate value. As we are separating these list with the index, whichever the element we want to, I want to access the last element as 1, we can access using the index value. So it allows the multiple values to enter within the list. List items are indexed. The first element has an index of 0 and the second element have an index of 1. So on as it is ordered, it will sequential storage, it will goes on sequence 0, 1, 2, 3 up to n minus 1 value. List also allows the negative indexing also. Okay, it also allows the negative indexing. As we are moving from left to right, we are giving the positive indexing. As we are moving from the right to left, we are giving the negative indexing. Remember that the negative indexing always starts with -1 till -n. As positive index is starting from 0 till n minus 1 value. So how to create the list? How we can create the list? By giving the list name, assignment operator and the elements within the list. That's all we have to provide, and keep in mind that we have to provide that within the square braces, right? So this is how we are going to create. Print L1. What is my list name? List name is my L1. What all the elements I have in the list? Apple, banana and cherry. These are all the elements that will be printed as a output. What we are going to print? Apple, banana and cherry will be printed as output. You can see the example of one more, list 2. What is the name of the list? List 2. We are assigning using the assignment operator Then here we have allowed the multiple values. Here you can see apple 1 times, apple 2 times, cherry 1 time and cherry 2 times. Multiple values of apple and cherry will be allowed. This is what it will print. It will print in the same order as we have given the input. Apple, banana, cherry and then apple, cherry. That will be printed as a output. Here one more list I have, that is list 3, L3. So here we have a combination of digit as well as a string. That is integer data type as well as a string data type. This is also allowed in the list. To combine a different data types and form a single list is allowed in the Python list data type. This all will be the integer value. This is a string value, then integer value, right? So we can insert the combination of different data types within the list. And keep in mind, always it has to be enclosed with the square braces separated by comma. Then one more list what we have is list. We are using the constructor called list. Within this constructor, I am giving the elements of the list. Apple, banana, cherry. What is going to display? The same output as that of L1. It's going to display all the elements of the list L, that is apple, banana and cherry. So this is one more method using the list constructor to create the elements of the list. How we can create? List name, assignment operator and elements of the list. This is one way of creating the list, and second way of creating the list by using the list constructor or list method. By calling the list method, we can create the elements of the list. Next, accessing the element from the list. How we are going to access the element, particular element from the list? By using indexing. What we are using? By using index value. Here you can see 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Index value of the given list is 4. As I told you, it also allows the negative indexing -1, -2, -3, -4 and -5. So how many elements list is consisting of? List consists of 5 elements from 0 to 4 index as a positive indexing, from -1 to -5 as a negative indexing. That's what I said. It will start with -1 till minus n, it will end when we go with the negative indexing, and when we go with the positive indexing starts with 0 and goes till n minus 1th value. So here you can see list of 0. How we are going to access particular element of the list? By giving the index value. The list of 0 displays what? Displays as this value, that is BCA. BCA will be displayed as a, when we give this as an instruction, list of 0 is saying that 0th element in the list has to be taken out, has to be accessed. Okay, then list of 2. What is 2? Here the value is 2. This will be displayed when we call list of 2. Then list of 5. Do we have a 5th element here? We don't have a 5th element here. So this particular instruction or the statements gives an error message. This particular instructions gives an error message. Then list of -1 will allow us to access the last element of the list directly. That is what is the last element of the list? Is Python. That will be accessed by giving the negative indexing. List of n minus 1. What is n minus 1? Means this is a last element we are supposed to be accessed. That is both the instruction will display the same element. Then list of -n will give you the first element of the list. Will give you what? The first element of list. As we are going with the negative indexing, starts with -1 to -n. So -1 will give you the first element of the list. Then here you can see this is mutable. As we said, the list is mutable. Here, the list of 2 is equal to 10. The value is given. What it means, at the index value 2, of the list, that value should be replaced with 10. The first what I have is a B.Ca element and 1 is the second element. At the position 2, what I have 2, that will be replaced by 10, 4 and Python. So, this is mutable. The list name is what? Same, right? The list name is same, but the value of the list is changed at this particular position. So that is why we call the list is mutable. We can change the element, particular element value in the list. That is, the list is mutable. How we are going to do that? List, which value has to be changed? Assign the value for that. Which index value has to be changed? Assigning the new value for that index. That's how we can change the value within the list or the element within the list. Next, what we have is list operation. What are the operation we can do on the list? So, basic operations what we have studied for the string, all operation can be done on the list. Let's see what are the operation. Concatenation. We can concatenate 2 lists to form the new list. Concatenation means combining the elements of 2 lists and putting together in a single list. How we can do? We can do by using the plus operator. Say my L1 is equal to 1, 2, 3 and my L2 is equal to A, B and C. So, I am going to form a new list that is called L3 by combining the element of L1 and L2 as A, B and C. So, this is how we are going to concatenate by using L1 plus L2. This will be our new list displayed. Okay. So, next, the operation what you have is second operation is repetition. What you mean by repetition? Repeating the particular element within the list how many times we want. That is n times we want. So, that is called as repetition. See, in the L1 I have only one element called B.Ca. That will be repeated by using what? Star operator. Star operator is used to repeat how many times? N times. What is my n value here? 5 value. So, what would be, it will print if I give print L1 star, like print L1 star 5. What it will going to print? It will going to print B.Ca 5 times. That's it. Okay, repeating the particular element within the list, that is called as repetition. Then membership operation. What do you mean by membership operation? We don't have particular operator here. Here we are going to use a keyword in. What is a keyword to represent the membership operator? In. Okay, this will display the Boolean value whether the given element is present in the list or not present in the list. Checks a given element in the list or not. It always returns the Boolean value. Which value is going to return? Always returns the Boolean value. If the searching element is present in the list, it will give the result as true. If it is not present in the list, then it will give the result as false. So, these are the main operations what we have on the list. Apart from that, we have slicing. We have already done slicing. What is slicing? Getting a sub list within the given list or getting a substring from the given string. What is the syntax for slicing in the list? We have to give the initial, that is a start state, and we have to give the end point where I supposed to stop my slicing, and we have to give the index jump, how much index it has to jump. This is all the fields are optional. Okay, here you can take one list 50, 70, 30, 20, 90, 10 and 50. That's what we have given. If I want to slice a particular piece of the element from the given list, that can be done by using slicing. Here you can see the example. I want to take out this particular piece, right, from 1 to 4. How supposed to be given? In the list from 1, that is my initials, that is my start state. and this is my end state. So I should start slicing the list from the index value 1 till the index value n minus 1. What is my end? End minus 1th value. So it will slice this particular starting with 1 and before the end value. It will stop before the end value. That is the example what we have given here. So one more example, if the list is given with only 2 colons, what does it will give you? It will print the list as it is without slicing anything. So we are not giving the initial value, we are not giving the end value, not even giving the step count value or index jump value, right? So it will print the list as it is without doing any slicing. Then here I am saying print list minus 7 is a start point and 1 is a index point. What it will display? From minus 7, we have to go for negative indexing. What it is negative indexing? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, right? So from minus 7, I have to jump 1 index every time and it has to be displayed. So what it will display? The given list will be displayed in the reverse manner, right? So it will display in the reverse manner. Okay, then print list of 1:5. That is what the example we have discussed, that is 1:5 starting with the first index and end minus 1 index till that will be sliced. And then list 1:7:2. It means what? From starting with the first index till 7th index, I should jump 2 index each. Alright, it will be displayed what? 70 as a first index value. Next jumping 1 index, leaving 1 index, jump to the second index, that is 20, and leaving this 90, it will jump to 10. So this much will be sliced. Okay. So what you will get as the output of this particular print statement, 70, 20 and 10 will be displayed as the output of this printf statement. This is how we are going to slice the list. Then built-in functions. What are the built-in functions we are using in the list? So these are some of the built-in function. Append. Append is a built-in function used to add the element at the end of the list. If it is my list of 10, 20, 30, 40, so on, it is my list. Using append function, I can add the element at the end of the list, right? Extend, used to add more than one element, where append is allowed to add only one element at the end of the list. This extend is used to add more than one element at the end of the list, again will be at the end of the list. Insert. Insert is a function or a built-in method used to add the element wherever you want using the index value. So if this is my index 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, I can add the element in between 10, 5, 20, 40, 30 and 50. So here new element is added. So at the what index? At the first index. First index, the new element is added using the insert function. That is how we are calling the insert function. List name with the dot operator, then insert function. We have to give the 2 parameters here. Which position we have to insert? That is the value is 1. I am inserting at the index value 1. What is the element I am inserting? I am inserting the element 5. So how it will be given? L dot insert. What is a position? 1 is a position and 5 is a element. It's saying that at the index value 1, I am inserting the value 5. Then remove is used to remove the element from the list. Okay. In case of multiple occurrence of first occurrence will be removed. For example, here what I have, the list 10, 20, 10, 30 and 50. Say here 10 is arrived 2 times. If I use a remove, L dot remove, and what is object? 10 I want to remove. So it will remove only the first occurrence of the 10. It will not remove the another occurrence of 10, where 10 is present more than 1 times, as list allows the multiple values. Okay, that will be removed. Whenever we are using the remove, we are giving the object value, not the index value. Which object we want to remove, that value we are giving, or the element value we are giving, not the index value. Then pop. Here we are also using a pop function to remove the element from the particular position. Instead of object, we are giving the index value when we are popping the element. Remove the element from the given position. How position will be given? Position will be given by using the index value, right? So this is what the index value, that is L dot pop. I want to remove this particular 10 again, that is 0, 1, 2, which is my index value, 2 is my index value, that will be removed. Now what will be the elements in your list? 20, 30 and 50 will be the elements in your list. So keep in mind that when we are using the method or the function called remove, we are giving the object value. When we are using the function called pop, we are using the index value. Apart from that, some more built-in functions what we have is reserve. We are reserving particular memory location for the elements in the list. Then sort. Sort is a function that is used to arrange the element within the list. So unordered, unsorted elements will be given in the sorted order. Then min. Min is a function used to find the minimum value or the minimum valued object in the list. Max is a function used to find the maximum valued object in the function. Then count. It can count how many number of times a single element is repeated in the list. Then clear. It will clear the content of the list. So these are all some of the built-in functions what we have on the list. Next, what is nested list? Nesting means what? Keeping one within the other is called nesting, right? So we can create the nested list. One list will be holding the property or the elements of the other list. That is called as nesting. The nested list is simply a list that contains the other list as its element. When we are going to use a nested list, when we have to represent the complex data hierarchy, at that time we are going to use a nested list. How we are going to declare the nested list? So this is a list name. You can give any name for the list. Again, the assignment operator. Here you can see double opening braces, that is opening square braces, because this is to nest the list and this is a one list. Say I'll give the value of L1 as a list 1, L2 and L3. So how many lists are nested within the nested list? 3 lists are nested. Here 3 lists are nested, L1, L2 and L3. 3 lists are the elements of the list, nested list. Okay, so here one more example is there. List is equal to, these are the element of the list and this is a element of some other list, say L of 0. So you can either nest all the elements as a other elements of the list, or you can give its own element by using the other list element also. Printing the first element of the sublist. How we are going to print the first element of the sublist? This is my sublist, this is my main list, this is my sublist, right? So I want to print this particular element, first element of the sublist. How we are going to do? Print list 4 of 0. What is 4? 4 is here nothing but fourth list what we are using. Here we have used 1, 2 and 3. Here say I am using one more list called L4. For that I am giving the value 20, 30 and 40. So what I'm going to fetch? I'm going to fetch the list from the L4, the first indexed value. L4 of 0 we are going to fetch. The printing the second element of sublist, I want to print the second element of the sublist. What is my sublist? Sublist is 4, so that will be given as 4. And which is my element? The index value 1 will be the element for the second, right? So that will be printed. Similarly, we can access the elements of the sublist within the given list using this format. You should give the number of the sublist and then the index value what you want to access. So that's how we are using the nested list. Next we'll move on to the implementation of stack and queue using the list. How we are going to implement the concept of the stack and queue. What is the concept of the stack? First in, first out is a concept of stack. Whatever comes first, that will goes out last. What is the concept of queue? Concept of the queue is first in, first out. That is a concept of queue. How we are going to implement these concepts using the list? So using the list, stack works on principle of first in, last out, right? Or last in, first out. This is my stack. I am inserting the element, that is 10, 20 and 30 elements are inserted. Whichever inserted at the first will be removed at the last, right? This is a concept of stack. Also, the inbuilt function in the Python makes the code shorter and simpler. To add an element on the top of the list, to push an element, we use append. As we have just discussed, what append function do? Append function adds a one single element at the end of the list. As this is my list growing towards up, so whatever the elements will be added, that will be added at the end of the list. Okay, using the append function, we can push the element into the stack. And using the pop out element, we can use a pop function. As we have discussed what is a pop function. So we can pop out the last element each time. If we are not giving the index value here for the pop function, defaultly it will remove the topmost element from the stack. These functions work quite efficiently and fast in end operations. Let's look at an example for push and pop operation. So this is an example for the push and pop operation or implementation of stack using the list. Let us create one list called stack having 3 elements in that. What are the 3 elements? Amar, Akbar and Anthony are the 3 elements that is already there in the stack. Say this is my stack, right? Amar, Akbar and Anthony. So this is my stack element, or I can say list element. We are implementing the stack concept using a list. So I can say it as a list element, right? So stack append. What is append? I am appending one element called Iqbal. So using append function, we can add at the end of the list. So what is the end of the list? Here I can add Iqbal, right? So Iqbal is appended, added or pushed into the stack. I can say pushed into the stack using the append function. Now if I print this particular list stack, what it will print? It will print all the names present: Amar, Akbar, Anthony, Ram and Iqbal. So we are inserting 2, like Ram and Iqbal. So first element could be Ram and second element could be Iqbal, right? So it will display all the content as an output. This is a output for the first printf statement, output. It will display all the elements of the list or called stack as Amar, Akbar, Anthony, Ram and Iqbal. Now let us see how we can pop out the element from the stack. How we are popping out? Using the pop function. What is list name? Stack is my list name. With a dot operator, I'm calling a inbuilt function called pop. Here we are not giving the index value for the pop. Why? If you are not giving the index value, defaultly it will pop the last element of the list. So what is the concept of the stack? Last element has to be removed first. So we are not giving any index value here. For first print stack, after this pop function, this equal will be popped out. Right, Iqbal will be popped out. This printf statement, print stack, will give you what all the element? Amar, Akbar, Anthony and Ram. These 4 elements will be present. So this is a Iqbal is removed out of the list, and within the list what we have? Amar, Akbar, Anthony and the Ram. 4 elements are present. Then one more time I am calling the pop function. So either I can write the stack pop, or directly I can write the stack dot pop directly. Okay, with the print statement also I can write. This stack dot pop, again what it will remove? Now this Ram will be removed because Iqbal is already removed. Now this Ram will be popped out of the stack. Now what the element I have in the stack? I have only the 3 elements within the stack. Now here you can see the Ram is popped out of the list. Amar, Akbar and Anthony will be displayed as the element of the list. So this is how we are going to implement the stack operation using the list, using the append operation and using the pop operation without a index value. Next, how we are going to implement the queue, right? Queue concept is what? First in, first out is a concept of queue. Whichever the element inserted into the list first, that should be removed first, right? How we are going to achieve? See, one more list what we have with the name queue, same 3 elements, Amar, Akbar and Anthony. Queue append Ram. So what it will do? Have one list, that is Amar, Akbar, Anthony and append Ram will be appended at the end, that is Ram will be appended, right? So again I am appending here what? I am appending Iqbal, Amar, Akbar, Anthony, Ram and Iqbal. So how many elements are there in the queue now? 5 elements, because each time we can added 1 element at the end of the list. Next, while going to the remove, it will remove the first element. So print q dot pop of 0. Here we are giving the index value as 0 because we want to remove this 0th indexed element. Right. So what would be the output for this print statement? Output what you will get? Amar will be removed from the queue, and what I left with? Akbar, comma Anthony, comma Ram, comma Iqbal. This much will be there in your list. If I call again like q dot pop of 0, what it will? It will remove one more element of the list, Akbar. So that will be removed, and what I'll be having? I'll be having Anthony, Ram and Iqbal. So this much element will be there in the queue. Hope you understood how to insert the element into the queue, how to remove the element from the queue. This pop index should be always 0 because we are working on first in, first out concept. That is a queue concept, so it will be 0. The main thing what we have is, while implementing the stack, we are not giving the index value for the pop inbuilt function. While working on the queue, we are giving the index value always as a 0 as a pop inbuilt function. So that is and the major difference how we can implement stack and queue using the list in the Python programming language. Thank you.